Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. JJ Redick's earnest approach leads the Lakers into new era. For a person who reveres Ernest Hemingway enough that he named his podcast after The Old Man and the Sea, rookie Lakers coach JJ Redick should be familiar with one of his favorite author's mantras. The first draft of everything is S. It's hard to know how much of this Lakers season is a continuation of the draft they filed a year ago, possessions routinely ending in stagnant isolation for LeBron James or Anthony Davis, the Lakers to whom the ball goes. Or, by hiring Redick, perhaps the Lakers have made a significant edit, adding an emphasis on better organization and an increase in three-point shooting. Quincy Olivari shares reaction to making Lakers roster. Quincy Olivari went from complete unknown to arguably the story of the preseason for the Lakers in recent weeks. Even the relative part of that phrase is doing some heavy lifting as he went viral at Media Day because fans did not know who he was. But a memorable comeback against the Bucks kick-started his story before he finished strong against the Warriors in their final game. Along the way, he gained a host of fans, none bigger than Lakers legend Magic Johnson. That, plus his work in practice, was enough for the Lakers to make some roster moves to keep him around this weekend. On Saturday, the team waived Colin Castleton, opening up a two-way roster spot to use on Olivari. At practice on Sunday, Olivari shared his reaction to learning he had made the team. It's been quite the ride for Olivari over the last 3 weeks. But even before fans and legends got behind him, JJ Redick had already been in Olivari's corner. Redick also talked about keeping Olivari with the team, but also was quick to credit Castleton's work with the Lakers this preseason and the last couple of years. It's been a wild ride for Olivari, but now he has a bit more security. A two-way contract is nothing close to a guarantee, but it's far more certainty than he had even weeks ago. Now, he has a clearer pathway to making his way to the NBA. And if the last 3 weeks have taught anyone anything, it's not to count Olivari out. It was an eventful preseason for the Lakers that featured lots of road trips, the emergence of a new fan favorite in Quincy Olivari, and some answers to the questions that existed with JJ Redick. We also were presented with plenty of questions from you guys. Let's dive into our preseason mailbag. We will have a bigger article on this on Monday, but if I was picking one of each, I'd start by saying it'd be hard to argue just about anyone other than Dalton Knecht for most impressive. While he came in with some expectations and excitement, he has pretty quickly solidified that he's a bona fide NBA player and will need minutes sooner than later. On the flip side, D'Angelo Russell didn't exactly light the world on fire, despite his own evaluations. I worry little about him as he's a veteran who has had his fair share of preseasons, so I trust that he knows how to ease himself into the season. But he entered training camp very excited about what life under JJ Redick would look like. He then shot 36.5% from the field and 24% from the three-point line. A fast start would do him well over the next week or so. 1,006 days. That is how long Lonzo Ball had to wait before playing competitive basketball again. He ended that wait by taking part in the Chicago Bulls' preseason win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ball did not just return to the court, but he showed that he is still capable of contributing as well. In 15 minutes, he scored 10 points, going 4 of 6 from the field. He also registered an assist and a rebound. In the process, Ball made history. No other player had returned to high-level sports after one of the procedures he underwent while he missed more than 2 seasons of basketball. It was an emotional moment for many, and in many ways, it showed the journey that Ball has been on over the years. He has gone from one of the most controversial figures in the game while entering the league as the second overall pick for the Los Angeles Lakers to a sympathetic hero returning from a career-threatening injury for the Bulls. Los Angeles Lakers trio might interest Chicago Bulls in Zach LaVine trade. It is widely believed that the Chicago Bulls have been trying to trade Zach LaVine for a while now. Unfortunately, they have not gotten the right offer yet. It is easy to understand why they might have faced a tough time finding trade partners. LaVine is coming off a season in which he played just 25 games due to injury. But even more importantly, he has a massive contract that will see him make $138 million over the next 3 seasons. There has been plenty of positivity around LaVine in recent days though, as he has looked good during the preseason. The same cannot be said about the Los Angeles Lakers. They finished preseason 2-4, which included 2 one-sided defeats against the Golden State Warriors and 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Lakers do not seem to have a roster that will compete for the championship this season. Their championship window with LeBron James is getting narrower by the day though. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The Lakers have been linked with a trade for LaVine in recent times. LaVine is one of the most dynamic scorers in the league and could be an asset for the Lakers. How much would they be willing to give up to bring him on board though? Chandler Parsons believes that there are some Lakers players who might entice the Bulls. He said on Run It Back, "I think they need shooting. I think when you got a guy like wings like Dalton Connect now, you got Austin Reeves, you got DLO, I think there's assets that would entice the Chicago Bulls." Just getting LaVine's massive contract off the books has to be a priority for the Bulls at this point, as they look to rebuild around young stars. If they can get any of those players from the Lakers, it would have to be seen as a bonus. The Los Angeles Lakers have a limited window if they are to go on another championship run with LeBron James. At the moment, they look far from being even outside contenders. Could it lead to them trying to bring in a Chicago Bulls star? It is never a good idea to look too deep into preseason performances, but the fact of the matter is that the Lakers are 1-3. They lost in one-sided games against the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their only win has come against the Milwaukee Bucks. There has been so much talk about Bronny James coming into the team, but the reality of the situation is that he is a rotational player, at best, right now. As one would have, or at least should have, expected. Bronny has gone scoreless in 2 of those 4 preseason games. In the other 2, he has scored a combined 4 points. LeBron is still great. But he is set to turn 40 soon. He is no longer someone who can power a team to the NBA Finals. LeBron and Anthony Davis need some help if the Lakers are to be competitive this season. Could Zach LaVine be the answer for them? According to Anthony Irwin on Clutch Points, league sources say to keep an eye on LaVine. The Bulls and the Lakers held trade talks last season and briefly over the summer, and sources say those talks will almost assuredly pick up back this year with him looking healthy again. LaVine has returned to the court this preseason, after undergoing season-ending surgery in February. And he has looked pretty good, and should get even better as he gets more minutes in the tank. At his best, LaVine could be an asset to the Lakers and many teams around the league for that matter. It is not hard to understand why they might be interested. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Zach LaVine? Leave your opinion in the comments.